do we determine the contract type during planning and procurement management, whether both the buyer and sellers are trying to put the risk on each other? So, see, many of you may just remember the contract type with a risk table. Fixed price. The seller has a more risk. Buyer has a less risk. And then time and material. The risk is more towards, or a cost immersible. The risk is more towards the buyer side and less towards the seller side. That's a one way of looking at it. It is actually a risk associated with cost overrun. There are other types of risks also. So not too much focus on that the contract type is a function of only risk. The contract type is basically a function of the type of work you are dealing with. When you don't have a clear outlined specification of a work, you can't go for fixed price. That's it. Even you go for a fixed price, it will be risky for you without having a clear understanding of a deliverable. If you contract someone and says, I will pay you this much and you will give me this, the guy is understanding something else and he will give you and says, this is what it means. And you were dreaming something else, and you are in a fight and you never get the deliverable. So risk is there if we use inappropriate contract type based on the problem, yeah, based on the situation we are dealing with. So yes, my nature of the work itself influences the contract type. Yeah. So we say that when you have a clarity of your work, when you have a clarity of your deliverable, both of the parties have an independent way of saying, I am needing this and you are delivering me this. There is a clear standards to have an acceptance criteria check results. We better go for fixed price. We can say, okay, there could be some conflicts, but more or less everything is well understood. You are paying this and you are getting this. When you don't have that clarity, then you go for either cost plus or you go for time and material. Now, out of cost plus and time and material, how do I decide? Cost plus is usually used when you are hiring a very specialized service. You can say, I'm getting, say, my car fixed, or I want to work on a something thing with a marketing campaign. I want to run a marketing campaign. I don't want to have any deviation. I want to work there. I may not have a skill for a service which I am hiring. I may not be a mechanic to get my car service, so I can't understand that. So I will trust on my reliable partner. I will not go for cost plus for anyone whom I have not worked with, or anyone who does not have a credibility as a fair provider. So when I work with a fair provider, either based on my past experience or because of their professional ethics, they are restricted to do it, else government will catch them if they do some malpractices. I go with them and I go for a cost reimbursable because I want something done. When I understand what I'm dealing with and I just need some augmentation, I says, I just want to get my house clean. I just need a 3 workers. Can you give me a 3 workers for 3 days? If I take additional day, I will pay them extra for another day. Give me a fixed price per day and I know what I'm getting to. I will take the guy by after evaluating it. I may take an interview of them. And if I don't like them, I will send them go home. I go for time and material. So I'm hiring the type of people as a buyer, and I can deal with that particular thing. So if I'm doing a staff augmentation, I will definitely not go for fixed price. I know what I'm dealing with. And if I'm dealing with a very specialized service where I don't have an idea and I have to trust the provider only for everything, I definitely have to go for cost plus. In a real life, your real contract might be having all three components together. Some part might be fixed price, some part might be cost plus, and some part might be a time and material. So my advice to PMP exam test taker, I know you might have studied in some books based on the risk table. Don't limit your thinking to a risk table. It is, yes, cost overrun risks are not there for a provider in a cost plus and time and material, but that there could be other risks which may come depending upon wrong selection of a contract type. So contract type is a function of the type of work you are doing rather than the type of risk you want to mitigate probably.